Afternoon, everybody. Very successful weekend this weekend. Kind of a fun little heart attack that we had for this weekend. But as I told you before last week, we were going to go to South Dakota, which is a very difficult place to swim, and it was. They were ready for us. It's a very dark pool. It's a longer pool, so our girls really did a great job of focusing just on competing. The races were great. We got a few touches and started off the meet very well. Winning the first relay, and then really the turning point was right at we did went 1-2 in the 200 butterfly, and turned around the next event went 1-2-3 in the 50, which kind of distanced ourselves from them, and they were trying to play catch up from them, but really didn't have the power that we did, and we continued to swim well all the way to the very end, where we actually won, got first and second in the last relay to put the stamp on a victory there. So we were happy to kind of get out of there. The girls were exhausted at this point. You know, it was a hard-fought battle, but we had to turn our attention on South Dakota State the next day. So we stayed in Vermilion and got up and spent the day traveling, kind of relaxed. Got to South Dakota State, and South Dakota State is one of the hardest places to swim against. They find a way to compete very well and to kind of outperform what they look like on paper, and they did just that. We got to the first event. Here I was expecting us to really put together a great relay, and they run away with it. And so we were fortunate to be able to get second and third, but we were behind the eight ball right from the start. Going into the rest of the events for our break, things just didn't go well. We had a surprise swim out of Stephanie Jackson in the 1,000 freestyle to go ahead and win her event, which was better than kind of predicted, so I kind of thought we righted the ship a little bit. Did very well in the 200 freestyle, but then kind of they won 3 events in a row. And so they were up on us at the first break by a couple. Our divers, I felt, were in a good position to do very well. They stumbled a little bit and struggled on 1 meter. And so we're behind in a battle which, when I put out on paper, we didn't have much room for error. So we were able to come back and turn things around in the 200 backstroke, where Afton Fife had her best swim of her career in the 200 backstroke, followed by Madison Rinaldi and Sierra Sachin to go 1-2-3, which put us right back in the lead and kind of gave us some momentum carrying through. Rachel Siebenauer again did fantastic in the 500 freestyle, kind of allowed us to get to the next break, where our divers kind of responded and did very well. Allie Bay winning the 3 meter. So that put us in a position, and after every event I'm going back to my computer trying to figure out how we're going to be able to get the right points. And so I knew if we were up by 8 points, if we're down by 8 points or less, we need to get first and third in the last relay. If we were down by more than 9, we're going to have to try to go 1-2. So I had wrote down the lineup to try our best, which I didn't feel confident about, to our best lineup to try to get first and second in the last relay. So we got to the IM. They went 1-2, put us 8 points behind. So I kept that list in my pocket, and I said, okay, we're going to go with it. We need to get first and third, and that's exactly how it turned out. We got first and third wins by 2 points. It takes 150 points to tie, 151 to win. The score was 151-149. So it's as close as you can get in any swimming event to get a victory, but we'll take it. Like I said, I told the girls, I said, congratulations, you've won. Please don't ever do this again, because I was pacing and again, trying to crunch numbers. I like to sit back and watch the girls shine in meets now, rather than having to do strategy sessions. But we came out on top, as this team deserved, and they beat a very good South Dakota and South Dakota State team. So they were able to smile on the way home. I think they slept fairly well. And then we turn around now. We set our sights on Nebraska this week, which is my alma mater, and always fun to have a team like that come into us. And one thing that Pablo graciously does, he never takes it easy on us, and so he knows the improvements that we've made, and so it'll be they'll come in there with their guns blazing, and we'll try to we'll do our best to swim well at home and finally get a chance to shine in front of our fans. Any questions?
How much of a measuring stick is this, do you think, for your team to kind of find out how far along you are facing Nebraska?
I think this past weekend showed a lot of heart for our girls. We've been very fortunate over this past year to be very successful. and our wins have been fairly decent against the mid-major schools, and so to be able to have to go and be down a little bit and have the girls fight to come back really says volumes for where we're going to be able to go. Nothing's going to scare them now. When we, last week, we started out with Iowa and Michigan, and I felt there was a little intimidation that they may have brought upon themselves. I think now that the girls have found that they can work for their success, I think that's going to really help us in the future. And we see Nebraska next week, and then 3 weeks later, we're going to see them again at the Kansas big. I think it's the Big Classics, what they're calling it. All right, great. Have a great afternoon, everybody.